Episode 5, The Hound of the Baskervilles, The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney.
It's coming! Sholmes' cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited breathlessly in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us.
Doggy.
A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear.
Poor Wilson.
"Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
Good Sholmes impression. Alright, let's start things off here. Where are we? Our first 2 months... Let me get back into my normal voice. I say as I've been using it. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court. Which is hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. Yeah, but you kind of did win against Von Zykes 2 times in a row. You would think that would warrant some attention, I don't know. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. April 15th. 9:13 a.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Legal consultancy. That is the word I'm trying to say. Good lord, brain. Knock, knock, knock. In on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. That morning, I was woken up by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san?
Yes? Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see, what case is it today?
We haven't had a case in months. I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I?
Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. Haha, it's just that I'm a judicial assistant and I'm not doing anything judicial. I feel like I'm going insane. I'm out of a job.
But I think Ira said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite?
Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food.
She does, doesn't she?
And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form.
We still don't have a court case.
Let me see, what case is it today?
Here we go again. She's gone insane. Okay, but what about this?
It means a great deal to me, you know. That you cherish his armband so and wear it each time you appear in court.
Well, it's very important to me. It's what shows that I'm a lawyer. And whenever I wear it, I feel as though it gives me strength. Through Kazuma. I absolutely can't do without it. Especially when I'm at a critical point in a trial.
But, just the other day, I noticed you wearing it when we went to visit that park.
Please don't tell me it was McGilda's park. Sometimes I forget to take it off. You know what would be pretty funny? And a nice callback? Is if whenever he's, like, feeling stressed out, but not on the verge of, like, breaking down, if he would, like, grip his shoulder where it is, it would be a nice callback to, like, the Von Karmas. Alright. We haven't been able to examine this place before, so why don't we take care of that right now? What's all this? So this is the tea set that Susato-san brought with her from Japan. Oh. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter.
Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruhodo-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know. I don't like to see you screw up your face so.
Ah, brother. A shovel? What, are we gonna use this to bury someone because Susato committed a murder? That spade has been in here since we started renting the place. Oh, excuse me, it's a spade, not a shovel. Forgive my ignorance.
Oh, that's not a spade, Mr. Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel.
Oh. What's the difference? No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade.
No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel.
Oh my god. Wait a second. Is this a callback to is this a spin on the classic frickin' skit? For those who haven't played the original series, which I assume most people that are watching this have, but for those who haven't, it is a tried and true tradition of this series to have conversations about ladders versus step ladders, where Phoenix Wright and whoever is with him would always go on about it. But I guess this is a new age. Well, I say new age, but it's in the past, so old age. An old age version of that running gag. I don't want to dig a hole for myself, so let's leave it. Oh, man. Nice throwback. It's spring at last, and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle.
Oh, would you like some tea, Naruhodo-san?
Thank you, Susato-san, but I'm alright for now. The green tea Susato-san makes from time to time, and Iris's unique herbal infusions. This place is paradise for a true tea lover.
Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, there's the Dharma. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already.
You could tidy up once in a while.
Susato-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. And time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause.
And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework.
She wins, but I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. The Dharma doll I brought with me from home. Still with only one eye colored in. I said I'd color the other eye once I won my first court case here in Britain, but...
But you have won, haven't you? Twice, in fact.
Because I feel as though I'm still lacking as a lawyer. I tell you what, why don't you color the other eye in once you think I'm a proper, fully fledged lawyer?
If you insist.
I half expected her to fill it in right there. That would have been real sweet if she had. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Anytime we have one of these, the frickin' go left and go right thing, like when I pressed right, I was half expecting Sholmes to be just sitting here. Because, you know, it's very in character and a usual thing for him to do. We are rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind here. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well, and the anemones too.
It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea behind glass inside your room. Another example of Great Britain's greatness.
Having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great though, is it? Well, I think I should address the elephant in the room. The door. No. What's this? Ah, this must be the telegram. Let's see. A blue envelope. Very classy.
Ah! No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but you can be very mischievous at times. Then put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. And it's in a blue envelope. You think I'm not going to notice it? Okay, never mind. I guess we aren't addressing that elephant. Do you know, I've never seen inside your room there, Susato-san. Never even peeped inside. I should think so, too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know.
Whatever you say, young maiden. My question in that case is, where does Ryunosuke sleep? Does my man just sleep on the floor or something? I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly. One sec, I'm gonna try to peer close at that. Because she says it's her room, and you can see that it has a pink nameplate or something on it. But I can't read it from here, and I can't tell if it's actual Japanese, even. The telegram. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean.
Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's sitting right there on the table. Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with that.
Well, I didn't think I would.
What's up?
Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram.
In a blue envelope? And that you're acting very suspicious about? Somehow I doubt. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. 3 strikes and you're out.
I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point.
Alright, I understand. Alright. Soseki-san. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he?
Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or just be a few days away.
A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him, do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. At least there wasn't a murder on it.
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
I was just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all.
You mean, as regards Lord Van Zykes, the Reaper?
Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. The Reaper of the Bailey. Sorry, had to check something. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Well, that certainly happened to Mr. McGill did. Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. I hope we eventually figure out the truth of what happened to him. I could see that being like a last case thing, but, I mean, we're on the last case of the first game. I don't know.
Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery.
Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means...
that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps?
Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding.
If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself.
Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants.
No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zykes hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter.
Oh? That's surprising.
Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems.
Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So, it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials, then. Just my luck. I have a strange feeling that he'll be going back to the courts very soon. Us as well.
I wonder if luck doesn't come into it.
Sorry? What was that?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
Alright. Well, I guess all there is left is to head over to Sholmes Street. I mean, we're already on Sholmes Street. I'm talking about Sholmes Suite. Breakfast time. Give us some food, Iris. We are hungry. April 15th, Sholmes Suite.
Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie.
Peak music.
Good morning, Iris.
Iris?
What is it, Runo?
What is that terrible noise? Sounds like a cat being strangled.
Ah, yes. You noticed.
Sorry, I can't voice act this. I can't get over that line that Ryunosuke said about a cat being strangled. That's just too funny to me. And it doesn't help that I have to voice act while this is going on. It's so bad! Oh man. Whatever violinist had to play this for this game, they probably were cringing at themselves or or had to re-record this multiple times because they were laughing too much. I know I certainly am.
Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you?
Oh my god, it's Sholmes.
Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems.
Oh. That sound effect? Oh my god, it's like the usual question mark sound effect that they use in this series, but it was like lower pitched and slow. And he looks so depressed. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Good morning. Let me try to I just realized, look at the top of the screen. It says what is that? VR? I can't believe this game's in virtual reality. Damn. Let me try to get Sholmes' regular voice. Hello, my name is Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Sholmes, I mean. Excuse me. I've got to come up with a depressed version of that or something. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? Look at his face. That is the face of someone who is done with this world. You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before, it sounded like a cat being strangled. Also, it sounded like you had frickin' poop inside of the violin. My analytical mind is dead, music is dead, the world is dead. Damn this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. This poor dude. Meow. Kitty! What? Oh my gosh! Is that... It's Sosuke's cat! Oh look, it's Wagahai.
Good morning, boy.
Don't tell me, did we adopt the kitty?
Oh, it's so cute!
I am a complete sucker for animals. It must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. How did it get there?
Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris.
It would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Oh, something very big, actually. What if I present this? Mr. Sholmes, could I ask you for your opinion about this? You lure me to raise my languid head with the promise of some mental exaltation. Yet in my morbid depression, I am confronted with the most mundane of problems. Oh. My mind finds greater stimulation in the unforgiving monotony of the floor than in your miserable offering. Always glad to help. Oh, my head weighs heavy on my shoulders. Man, I am not good at this. Oh, dear God. Do I get unique dialogue for all of this? Oh, Lord. What happens? The fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow.
Oh, look at that photographic print of a lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be... Yes, it must be! It's the woman! Oh, how exciting!
Is that supposed to mean something to me? I got an achievement for that. The woman. Kinda wacky. No idea what that means. Up here. These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from Le Carnaval would be on display here.
A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing man, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection.
Looks like an untidy assortment of junk to me. Rather like what's on my own shelves, honestly.
Well, you really ought to learn to keep your things in order, Mr. Naruhodo.
No favoritism there at all. Never change, any of you. I don't want to examine the teacups, because I feel like that might, like, change the plot or something. There's all sorts of things on these shelves. Chemistry, apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole thing is going to topple at any minute.
Oh, it's such a charmingly untidy collection of paraphernalia, isn't it?
Just looks messy to me, like my desk. Uh-oh. Accidentally moved OBS. Whoopsie.
But you, Mr. Naruhodo, must learn to tidy up after yourself.
No favoritism there, then. What do we got? Let's examine this. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it?
We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah, trust me. She is right there.
Why, next time we're invited, we may find who's vacated the entire suite.
That's scarily plausible, actually. Alright. Is that all? Oh no, we got this whole area as well. This is where Iris notes down ideas, isn't it? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah! The Boscombe Valley Mystery.
Oh, how intriguing! It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my, I wonder what fantastic tale awaits us.
Susato-san looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most unsavory crime you could imagine. Listen, let the girl dream about committing crimes. Dream about crimes. Yes. Iris's beautiful tea set is set there on the table as usual. A cup of one of her special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain.
The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea ceremony customs, don't you think? It's the idea of hospitality behind it. That's the essence of tea.
Perhaps. You might be onto something. What is this, like a medicine cabinet? That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
Science is the future, Mr. Naruhodo.
The future is now, thanks to science.
You can't deny it. I'm saving my money so that I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well.
Law, chemistry, takedown throws. What diverse skills you boast, Miss Usato.
As useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion in that list.
Oh, trust me, they are. Nothing is more scary, I mean impressive, than it. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris doing much writing recently. With this paper already set up in the typewriter, look, as if she's about to start.
That reminds me, when I first mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a full-fledged novel, Mr. Natsume was most impressed.
Ah yes, Mr. Natsume.
That's what I'll be doing too once I'm back in Japan. He said through tightly clenched fists and teeth.
Sounds accurate for him. Alright, do we get anything different from examining this one? Yes, we do. Let's talk to Iris first. Wagahai. Let's talk about Cat. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home, then.
Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy.
It would appear his previous owners completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews are empty as the hearts of the muses.
If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expect he would have taken him if he could. The pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of the passage are not obeyed.
Oh, we know that all too well. I still hope that kitty's okay. The kitty from the Buria. The ship. Case 2. Since we never actually saw it firsthand.
Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable.
That he is.
Look at the kitty. Where's your momo?
Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from?
Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Reno. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention.
What is that?
I call it the Cat Flapper-Mat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds.
I can't believe that Iris invented the cat door.
And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see.
Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps anywhere I want. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Alright, well that was nice. And now to talk to the depressed man, I think. I was not expecting that to be a conversation topic. Wanting to die. Oh god. That is freaking perfect, beyond compare. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melatonin tones would make flowers bloom. It's what? But now the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Can you get out of this funk quick? I'm not having fun doing this depressed version of your voice. I much prefer the upbeat and idiotic himbo version of you, sorry. For hours I have bowed, for days even, through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion.
Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddess of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully snatch it away. Oh, dear. God, why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Brother. The Missing Machine. I could make a title for one of your things.
Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but...
Well done, Mrs. Soto. Your observational skills do you credit.
Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into insignificant... They pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's a Winterbanks now.
Sorry? It's at a windy bank?
No, Winterbanks, the pawnbrokery. Pawn... what?
You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly.
But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you.
Yeah, no, we kind of need that ourselves. Dear madam, the things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbrokery has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? Doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? How pawnbroking works. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays... Mondays? Man, Sholmes looks like Garfield on a Monday right now. It is inaccurate. He hates Mondays. Merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in turn, they are able to trade happily through the week.
And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London.
And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Winterbanks, you see.
A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain?
Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley?
He's like a pouting child. It's like Iris is the adult and he's the little kid. What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Can we eat now?
Aw. Oh, what was that?
Wagahi? Oh god, that didn't sound good. What was that?
Oh no! Rokahoi's tangled up in your violin! I think he thinks it's a toy.
No, what's he doing to it?
Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care?
What?
I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now.
Oh boy. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the... Oh, sorry. I thought it was him. Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. What do we got? So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius. One of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings.
How honorable of you.
And until today it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No. There is none.
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of a release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
What do you mean, Miss Usato?
Oh, Susie's right! Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Then what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
What? He's dead. He disappeared into the void. He was too shocked from that revelation.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright?
You're right. You are quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius? So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Herlock Sholmes doesn't need any of this malarkey.
Not your faithful performing partner, then. I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Sorry, getting a drink. Oh, wait, no. Talk to Iris. Mix-up. Yo, hit him with the mix-up. What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this viola, I mean, it has mix-ups, which is how you fool the opponent in a fighting game. Was it Winterbank's until last week? At the pawnbrokers?
Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved music partner. There is a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
Susato is... I swear, every time Susato makes, like, a pose or something, I am just struck in the heart by the adorableness. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea!
Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Winterbank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just has strings. Pshaw! A fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo. Never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. They will fiddle all of your diddles.
But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault.
Oh boy. I'm glad I can finally use my regular Sholmes voice. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere.
Sorry?
Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced?
We must visit Mr. Winterbank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Miss Susato, without a moment's delay.
But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs.
My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to finish your meal. What do you think we eat in this household? No. The only thing we eat are deductions and theorizing. To crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect. To press your eggs with ever more obtusely.
Okay, Ryunosuke, I've got an idea. You have to do the anime thing where you put bread in your mouth as you run to school. Except instead of running to school, you're running to the pawnbrokery. Easy. Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbrokers look like. Alright. No new stuff. I wonder what would happen if we talk to him again. I'm curious. I was wondering, Mr. Sholmes.
This is no time for wondering, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh.
Tut, your furtive glance betrays you, my dear fellow. You stole a brief look at the remnants of the omelette over there, did you not? I must say, you astound me with your insatiable appetite.
But I really wasn't looking.
Even as the words issue from your mouth, your eyes vertically devour the remaining ration of bacon. You are quite true to form this morning, I see.
Mr. Naruhodo, please try to remember the urgency of the matter at hand.
Yes, I know. We're all about to pay a visit to the pawnbrokers. I'm really not trying to delay us. And yet I would give odds of 1,000 to 1 that within the next 5 seconds, your eyes will settle thirstily on the last few drops of coffee in the cup over there. Why does he have to deduce everything so correctly all of a sudden?
This is fun. Runu's eyes are as big as saucers.
Please, can we go to the pawnbrokers now before I run out of safe places to look?
Yes, I think that's an excellent idea.
Okay, that's a fun thing that they do. I never examined this. It looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table for coffee and tea and coffee. It seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't go opening things.
You're very mischievous. How do you come to that conclusion? I think that's the same thing we had before. Alright. So. Whoa. Oh shoot, we get to go to Baker Street and the pawnbrokery? Dang, okay. Okay, well, next time on Great Ace Attorney, I guess we'll head to Baker Street before we head to the pawnbrokery. Oh, also, I think I said at the end of last episode that I was planning on doing escapades in between episode 4 and 5. The reason I decided against that is because I looked at what the next escapade was, and apparently it was about something that I wasn't sure if it would take place before or after episode 5, so I decided to just wait on it. But it seems like it indeed did happen in between episode 4 and 5. There was none that happened in between. There was none that happened during episode 3 or between that and episode 4. But yeah, I'll get to escapades, I guess, after we're done with Great Ace Attorney 1. So yeah, next time on Great Ace Attorney, we head to Baker Street, and then we head to the pawnbrokery. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, mata ne.